say the economy in the world will never be the same again after COVID. How do you see your business being different post-COVID as opposed to pre?
I think it will take a while to ramp up again. You know, no one's going to click their fingers and the Prime Minister's going to say, we're back to business one day, then we're back full steam ahead. It will come back, incrementally. It will come back not the way it was before. But the basic fundamentals of it, I believe, will come back better. I hope that that every element of the live environment, agents, etc., understand that, and nobody tries to take advantage of promoters, or by definition, the public by behaving irrationally or greedily. That is the human condition in many ways, and this industry has got many of those traits. So I'm not over about that, but I do think the business will come back. It will come back very strongly, and good a business to see. And what we've seen when people are flouting the rules of restrictions imposed by governments, by going to the beach or whatever, it's the fact that people want to get out together, and we're social beings in this digital world. So I do think it'll come back, but it will take time, and it won't come back all of a sudden.
It's really interesting you talk about greed, because fans are really concerned across all our channels, it seems, about ticket prices when they come back. Some are speculating they're going to be cheaper because there's going to be a sheer huge volume of content, and others are saying it's going to be a lot more expensive because, a lot of promoters and artist managers and agencies need to make up their lost ground in revenue. Where do you see it? How do you see it looking like?
Yeah, I think I can only talk for what we're going to do. Where our view will be that ticket prices will be the same or lesser, not more expensive. I think it's anyone who says it's going to be greater, I think, is living in some sort of parallel universe, because as I said, people will try to make up, but you cannot make up for the fact that essentially from when it was mid-February to whenever it ends, there's a big gap in your earnings and everything else. You just do your best, but we're not thinking in a view, we're going to make everything up and we're going to double the ticket prices. We're thinking that the ticket prices at best would be what we would have thought, but probably going to be lesser because let's be honest, people are suffering. A lot of people there's a lot of money going out of people's pockets. If there's a good side to this, and there's no good sides to this, believe me, but there is limited ways to spend your money at the moment, which hopefully for those people that are suffering, eases that burden a little bit. Hopefully they've got enough money to put food on the table. But look, I definitely don't see the ticket prices rising. I hope common sense will prevail. And we're certainly of a mindset. Discussions we've had is certainly internally now. Our thinking is that prices will not go up.
I'm trying to work out the snowball effect here, because if you've got a bunch of artists who are suddenly going to be in huge demand, so all around the world, everyone's going to be wanting to put events and touring and all of that. So therefore, they're going to be able to put their prices up. And then parallel to that, we've got the Australian government printing billions of dollars to stimulate the economy, our Australian dollars going through the floor. So, if a certain international artist puts their price up by 10% and our Australian dollar falls 20%, things are 30% more expensive for Australian promoters. I don't know how, short of, you take promoters making less money, and the margins on it for these big concerts are already like 5% in some cases. How are you going to be able to afford to reduce ticket prices? How are you going to afford to even be able to keep ticket prices the same?
Yeah, a lot of points here, and they're good points. The foreign exchange is a real concern. The big drop in our dollar, which I think today is tracking around 62 cents. That's not good. Clearly we want it above 70 cents, and obviously higher. The funny thing about it, when a promoter puts an offer in, they're typically not that different. And the one variable, the typical variable is in the ticket price the promoter puts it down as part of their offer. I think a lot of artists and managers, I actually think they will act responsibly, and they'll realise that I don't want our tickets to go out at ridiculous prices, because the fans will revolt in some way. So I think there'll be a bit of common sense there. And I think that the other promoters, and I think we certainly will act rationally. So I hear the concern, and the people will choose with their feet. Will not go to if shows are ridiculously priced. We're seeing a price sense elasticity coming into the fore in recent about the last year. So people are being more sensible about ticket prices, and so I think I understand people being concerned. I hope companies and the whole system, including the agents and managers, and obviously by definition the artists, will act sensibly. Promoting is a very, very tight margin game, and I think promoters, are clever enough to actually, none of us start out wanting to lose money on a tour, and we're not going to tour for the sake of it to lose money. So, I hope common sense will prevail. And make no mistake, for a period of time there will be, and I don't quite know what they are, but there'll be changed conditions in the way we as a promoter and presumably other promoters will interact with agents and managers in terms of how contracts are done and concerns, because the whole world of getting insurance for an act and just the travel conditions and all that sort of stuff is sort of thrown out the window to some extent, and we've almost got to reset this game to a fair extent, in my view.